he says, let's go back then. How then shall they call on him in whom they've not believed? And how shall they believe in whom they've not heard? And how shall they hear without one teaching, proclaiming? And how shall they proclaim if they are not sent? Please embrace that part of verse 15. You don't get to send yourself. Okay, now we're talking about a sent one. You know what that's called in Hebrew? A shaliach. You know what that's called in the Greek? An apostle. We translate into the understanding. Apostle is not a rank in a government. Apostle simply means the sent one who's sent with a word, with a message to proclaim. But the key word there is they have to be sent. What happens at the end of Matthew? Yeshua sends the ones that he trained. So they were trained, anointed, appointed, and sent. Christianity's done an awful job in convincing everybody that that mandate is on all of you. The Great Commission it is. No. Okay, it's not the Great Commission. Now, it's a Great Commission, yes, because it was great what they had to go do. It's not the Great Commission, meaning it obligates everybody to do it. It was a huge, great task they were sent to do. But it's not for everybody. That task is not for everybody. He says, and who shall proclaim if they are not sent, as it has been written? How pleasant are the feet of those who bring the good news of peace, who bring the good news of the good. Now, bear in mind, verse 15 is another way of saying verse 3 and 4. Having someone come and say, you've not known the righteousness of Elohim. You've been busy establishing your own righteousness. You've not subjected yourselves. You haven't understood that Messiah is the goal of all of this. Not just Messiah. Well, let me phrase that. The goal is not just to know about Messiah. The goal isn't just to have him have come. It's to become him. To transform into that. To conform yourself into that. To change and become that. Yeshua-like. But how are they going to? That's what it means to bring the good news of peace, who bring the good news of the good. Because we know Yeshua is the what? Sar Shalom, the Prince of Peace. However, not all obeyed the good news. For Yeshayahu, Isaiah says, Yahweh, who has believed our report. So he's saying this has been going on for centuries. This has been going on for a long time, and people are not listening to those who bring the good news of the good, including the prophets who are sent ones. The prophets are sent. He says, so then belief comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of Elohim. Of course, the word of Elohim we can also translate as the word, the Messiah, Yeshua, the truth, the life, all of that stuff. In the beginning was the word. So then belief comes by hearing, and hearing by the word. So that goes back to they open your ears, the Father and Son and eyes, and inspire you to then ask, seek, and knock till you get the information. But you're looking for the ones that are sent to give that information. Now, this is different today, functionally in some ways, the mechanics of it, because we have the ability, rather than just walk to a village and then put up a box and stand on it and start talking, which is what they did, or just walk into an assembly and say, hey, I'd like to share something, which nobody's going to let you do today. Somebody asked me about that the other day. I said, it's not going to work. The churches are not going to want you to walk in there, nor will the synagogues, to start sharing a bunch of stuff. They'll throw you right out. But we do have the platform like this of YouTube, podcasts, iTunes, recordings, CDs, DVDs, whatever. We have the ability to put the information out that people can find. Most of you have found this particular message that the Father's given through that, process, through those available platforms. And so that's done just a little bit differently today. But it still is not any different than the idea that it comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of Elohim. You had to be led and inspired to find the ones who are bringing the good news of the good.